Welcome to the Rebecca Stringer Show. We are offering all kinds of enlightenment, education, and we're also sharing with you lives of people in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex who are making your world a better world. Tonight we have Chapman Kelly with us. He is a world-known artist who has been in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in the past for quite a long time, and he's now back. Welcome, Chapman.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
We want to hear all about art and what on earth brought you back to Dallas. You've been gone 23 years.
Well, I had a very successful show here, and my Wildflower Works was finished in Chicago, and I was in federal court, and the show sold very well, and everyone said, well, why don't you come back to Dallas? Well, so here I am.
Well, great. Well,
better or worse.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. There is a lot that happened in Dallas in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about what was going on in the city in that time.
Well, in the art world in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, Mac Doty, who was the head curator of the Whitney and covered this end of the country on a Ford Foundation grant, said that this was the fourth major art center in the visual arts in the country. And we had a minor renaissance going here because we were growing artists, we were growing collectors, and so on. So in 1985, when I spoke up at the Boston Museum School and the Graduate School of Design at Harvard, he gave me, well, he took me over to visit with him and the family for a few days. He was the head of the Courier Museum then. And he gave me the challenge. He said that the changes in the art world that he saw, because I got started so early and at a very high level.
You've influenced lots of people's lives. We know that.
Well, but he said I had to promise him that I would see that these changes in the art world that took place in my lifetime were documented. Yeah. And in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, artists were moving to Dallas from all over. And
that has not happened since, is that right?
No, in fact, it's going the other way.
Yeah. That's really, tell me, you know, there is an artist rights movement going on right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there's an interesting thing I just learned in the last day, and that's that, you know, people have said that what my case, Chapman versus Chicago Park District, is already considered a landmark case, and it would be for artist rights what Roe v. Wade was for women's rights. Fabulous. And Brown versus Board of Education was for black rights. So
we're gonna see you interviewed by all kinds of media.
Well, I found yesterday that my sort of head of the artist rights movement in Europe is Claude Picasso.
Now, that any relation to Picasso?
The son.
Oh, well, that's pretty good company.
And I've already instituted some questions by a mutual friend, her dealer, who I introduced to her, who's going up there next week to see if we can't sort of let people know that this is a worldwide movement, the artist rights movement.
And also a letter has gone to Obama.
Yes, a group of people involved with all of the arts have sent a letter to Obama and the Vice President, and they're saying that there are over 11 million people make a living in the various arts in this country. It's a huge multi-billion-dollar business, and that in some way or another we're each involved with copyright laws and encouraging them to acknowledge this and to make sure that the copyright laws properly protect the artist's rights.
Now, Chapman and I have had many conversations about art and what an artist truly is, and one thing that you said that I thought was wonderful was that every painting is a gift. And what we've got in other fields, such as music, we've got a team in place to judge music. And we are not getting that in the art world now. We do not have the jury that's out there, the judge and jury, to judge, you know, the artists, or to protect them.
Well, this is what happens with, you know, just in fairly recent years. because we emerged at the same time, and I spent an evening with Van Cliburn's mother. And now the Cliburn piano competitions,
oh, yeah.
In other words, he's giving back to the next generation what he got when he won the Tchaikovsky Award.
Well, you know, Texas just has so much. Texas has so many wonderful artists, actors, musicians, dancers, and the painters and sculptors are the ones that do not have this protection that the artists' rights movement is hopefully going to make a difference.
Well, it'll certainly make a difference, because it's the only way that everyone can really sort of benefit in the arts. In other words, if you don't have a professional level that are recognized as a professional level, who do you know to go and study with?
Yeah.
Who do you, whose opinion counts other than your own? For example, if a collector buys work by a young artist, hoping and expecting that artist will get better and gain more recognition, and so they can feel, you know, that they did something constructive for their society and for the arts. But if there's no system, regular system of professional recognition, then everybody's losing.
Yeah, we've got some major issues going on.
Yeah.
What, tell me about some of your former students. You've been there are many, many things that you have done for the city of Dallas. One, you had the Northwood School of Art, but you've taught art, but also you were involved with Lee Park in the 60s. We need to talk some more about that. But first of all, tell me about some of the students that you've had and where they have gone.
Well, I've had several students who really made a big splash internationally. James Havard, there's a new book out about Havard.
All right.
There's a new book out about Tom Palmore.
All right.
Havard has been in all sorts of important collections. He's in the Guggenheim in New York and the Metropolitan Museum, the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts Museum.
Well, I want to hear some more about these two artists.
Yeah.
And what we might do is even take a look at the books that we have here.
Yeah.
And these are both students of yours?
Yes, and Tom Palmore has been in the Venice Biennale, and Whitney, owned by the Whitney Museum in New York. Bob Yarber has been, who teaches at Penn State, has been in the Venice Biennale also, and is owned by the Boston Museum. And Noel Mahaffey is really the most renowned Texas artist since Robert Rauschenberg, I think.
We need to hear some more about these artists, and we will be right back.
Right.